Goji Center, YouTuber, combat analyst, kaiju expert, dinosaur specialist, man of science, head of hybrid research, recreation of the Ultimasaurus, and now recreation of the Indominus Rex 2.0. In the We Made the Indominus Rex Even More Deadly video, Goji Center created the Indominus Rex, the only dinosaur hybrid that kill human mercenary in the South American island. Shorter legs, great ape thumbs, sharpest Saurophaganax claws, armored crocodile iron teeth, and egg-laying clone offsprings. Today I challenge Goji Center with a snake. Snakes evolved from lizard ancestors over 100 million years. Gene mutations elongated their bodies, fused eyelids, and refined venom glands each tweak an answer to survival pressures. Natural selection favored stealth and venom potency, spawning over 3,000 species from tropical rainforests to desert sands. Every continent houses its own venom arsenal, from cytotoxic vipers in Asia to neurotoxic cobras in Africa, hemotoxic rattlers in North America, and even the sea's taipans, sea snakes, deliver some of the deadliest toxins known. We'll break down 7 venom classes: neuro, hemotoxic, cytotoxic, myotoxic, cardiotoxic, nephrotoxic, and procoagulant, and explain how each could weaken the Indominus Rex 2.0. Part 1. King Cobra. Our foundation is the magnificent king cobra, Ophiophagus hanna, one of the most iconic snakes on the planet. The king cobra isn't just the longest venomous snake alive. It's a marvel of evolutionary engineering with an incredibly sophisticated venom delivery system, advanced regulatory genes, and a suite of lethally effective proteins. By making the king cobra our base genome, we're tapping into several deeply rooted advantages. First, the king cobra's venom system is a masterpiece at the molecular level. Its venom contains multiple toxin families, 3 finger toxins, 3 FTX, cytotoxins, neurotoxins, phospholipase, and more, each encoded by entire gene families that have expanded through duplication and positive selection. This genetic architecture means the venom is not only potent, but can evolve rapidly in response to prey defenses, giving our hybrid snake an edge in the evolutionary arms race. The king cobra's genome has also hijacked and specialized former pancreatic gene regulatory networks to operate the venom glands, demonstrating deep regulatory complexity. Moreover, king cobras are intelligent predators. They actively hunt other snakes, showing both learned and instinctive behaviors, and their problem-solving skills are among the most advanced in the snake world. Their anatomical design, limbless but highly muscular with a skeletal architecture well adapted for both speed and power, is the perfect blueprint for building something much, much bigger. All in all, the king cobra's genome gives us a proven high-performance predatory toolkit: venom, regulatory versatility, and behavioral intelligence to serve as our launching platform. Every enhancement will amplify these base advantages, ensuring that our monster hybrid is as effective as it is terrifying. Part 2. Titanoboa. Next up, let's dial the scale up to prehistoric proportions with DNA from the incredible Titanoboa cerrejonensis, the largest snake ever discovered. Titanoboa roamed Paleocene rainforests 58 to 60 million years ago and could reach astonishing lengths of up to 14.3 meters, 47 feet, weighing over a ton. By incorporating Titanoboa's size determinants, we're morphing our king cobra base from a formidable predator into a true kaiju. Titanoboa achieved its enormous size through the hypertrophy of its vertebrae, rather than simply adding more bones. The scaling mechanism meant increased muscularity, structural robustness, and metabolic capacity to support such proportions. These anatomical traits weren't just for show. Titanoboa would have been capable of overpowering crocodilian megafauna, possibly even competing with them apex to apex in sweltering rainforests. Paleobiologically, larger size yields massive combat and survival advantages. First, a truly gigantic snake is out of reach for almost all predators. Its mass and muscle make it nearly invulnerable to attack. With immense strength, this snake can overwhelm prey far larger than any modern snake could manage. From a thermoregulatory point of view, an enormous body confers stable internal temperatures, granting greater stamina and resilience in harsh conditions. So, with Titanoboa's genes, our hybrid isn't just king-sized, it's king of the monsters, dominating any ecosystem it enters and shrugging off would-be rivals or attackers like mere nuisance. Part 3. Inland Taipan. Every super predator needs a weapon, so let's detonate the chemical arsenal with traits from the inland taipan Oxyuranus microlepidotus, also known as the world's most venomous land snake. While our base king cobra is already fiercely venomous, taipan genes take it to a whole other level. Their venom is at least 50 times more toxic than almost any other snakes, capable of killing a human in under an hour. The inland taipan's venom contains a devastating cocktail of neurotoxins, paradoxin PDX, oxylepidoxin 1, hemotoxins, which induce catastrophic internal blood clotting, potent procoagulants, and myotoxins that dissolve muscle tissue. There's even a spreading factor enzyme, hyaluronidase, that speeds up the distribution of toxins after a bite. The combination attacks multiple organ systems at once. Swift paralysis, tissue breakdown, circulatory collapse, and acute kidney failure follow in succession. For our hybrid, this means one strike is all it takes. Even large, armored prey won't get away, as the venom overwhelms both nerves and blood chemistry in moments. From a combat perspective, this is critical. Our snake can neutralize threats and immobilize opponents before they can mount an effective counterattack. Such venom also helps digest prey from within, making short work of even the largest meals. Evolutionarily, taipan-level toxicity ensures minimal risk during hunts. Prey is incapacitated rapidly, reducing the chance of escape or injury to the hunter. For our super snake, this could mean unchallenged success, even against the top dinosaurs or monstrous hybrids from other worlds. Part 4. Crocodiles. Brains matter as much as brawn, so let's turn to traits from modern crocodiles. Crocodilians are among the most unexpectedly intelligent reptiles, with documented behavior showing complex cognition, adaptive learning, and even planning. Crocodiles demonstrate advanced problem-solving, strategically using lures, like twigs, during bird nesting season to trap prey, adapting hunting tactics to fit changing situations, and even working cooperatively in coordinated ambushes. Social intelligence is surprisingly high. Crocodiles communicate with a range of vocalizations, use intricate body language, and form dominance hierarchies within groups. Parental care is also remarkable, with females vigilantly guarding, excavating, and actively transporting hatchlings to water, showing nurturing instincts rare among reptiles. Neurologically, crocodiles boast a relatively large cerebellum for motor control and especially enhanced olfactory bulbs and cerebral hemispheres, translating to improved memory and learning capacity. Their impressive sensory integration allows them to see the environment in multispectral ways, combining vision, hearing, and touch to map both prey and threats with remarkable accuracy. By splicing crocodile intelligence systems into our hybrid, we endow it with clever, tactical thinking and rapid learning. In a fight, such smarts mean anticipating attacks, exploiting enemy weaknesses, and adapting tactics on the fly. Socially, our snake might coordinate pack tactics if duplicated, or outsmart human or hybrid adversaries with surprising feints and ambush strategies. Part 5. Alligators. To supercharge cognitive prowess even further, we're integrating traits from the alligator, Alligator mississippiensis, a close cousin to crocodiles, with a brain surprisingly advanced for a reptile. Alligators have a relatively large and complex cerebral cortex, linked to higher-order decision-making and real-time problem-solving. Research shows alligators excelling at flexible learning and memory tasks, outpacing many reptiles, and matching some mammals in certain problem-solving scenarios. For instance, they learn to manipulate objects to achieve goals, devise strategies to access food in experimental setups, remember food locations over extended periods, and can even associate sounds with feeding time, demonstrating persistent, reward-based learning. Alligator brains also support sophisticated social behaviors, ritualized courtship displays, establishment of social hierarchies, and, in rare cases, teamwork in hunting. Enhanced spatial memory lets them navigate aquatic habitats with precision across large territories, and a highly developed cerebrum grants better integration of environmental cues. Adding alligator brain architecture on top of crocodile intelligence turbocharges cognitive capacity, ensuring our hybrid isn't just a brute, but a genius for a reptile. It could learn to evade traps, recognize threats after a single encounter, and perhaps even use rudimentary tools or coordinate group behaviors. A game changer for evolutionary dominance. Part 6. Black Mambas. If crocodile and alligator intelligence gives us a huge upgrade, black mamba genetics raise reptilian smarts even higher. Black mambas are famed not just for their speed and venom, but also for their problem-solving and remarkable awareness in the wild. Studies and field observations reveal black mambas employing memory to map vast territories, up to 10 square miles, using familiar landmarks and scent trails to navigate over long distances. They show complex pursuit tactics when hunting, tracking heat signatures and visually targeting prey, even through complex, cluttered environments. Notably, black mambas have demonstrated cause and effect reasoning in experimental setups, approaching and avoiding obstacles strategically rather than by mere trial and error. With black mamba traits, our snake gains upgraded navigation skills, rapid environmental assessment, and even more advanced predatory intelligence. The ability to calculate risk, adapt escape routes, or outwit rivals becomes even more pronounced. Coupled with the base predatory drive of the king cobra, this ensures our snake is equally dangerous whether evading, chasing, or evading. Part 7. Geckos. No apex predator is complete without supernatural senses. For exceptional nocturnal prowess, we turn to geckos and their extraordinary night vision. Some geckos can see up to 350 times better in low light than humans, owing to huge pupils, vertically slit to maximize photon intake, and a densely packed retina with over 90% rod cells. Behind the retina sits a tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer boosting sensitivity by reflecting light back through the photoreceptors, like cats, but optimized for even lower light intensities. Tube-shaped eyes, enormous relative to head size, further gather more light, while muscles dilate pupils up to 300% larger at night than during the day, capturing even tiny glints of starlight. Geckos also possess brilliant, transparent scales protecting their eyes and enhancing light passage. For our hybrid, this means almost supernatural night vision. It can hunt or avoid trouble in total darkness, identify subtle movement in near-pitch black conditions, and never be caught off guard by a nocturnal rival. For stealth attacks, finding prey in the dark, and evading detection, gecko eyes are a critical upgrade. Part 8. Dwarf crocodiles. Let's add an extra spectrum to our snake's visual arsenal via dwarf crocodile Osteolaemus tetraspis genes. Crocodiles, especially dwarf ones, have surprisingly sophisticated color vision compared to many other reptiles. Although crocodilians have only 2 cone types, compared to humans 3 and many reptiles 4, this system is efficient for their habitats. Dwarf crocodiles use their unique photoreceptor arrangements to detect vibrant colors and subtle contrasts under variable light, especially advantageous in their shadowy, forested aquatic environments. Their retinas are adapted for excellent spatial resolution and can discern colors even in dim or muddy waters, a tactical advantage for ambush predators. By integrating dwarf crocodile color vision, our hybrid can discriminate prey, rivals, or signals across a range of backgrounds from lush foliage to murky riverbanks, vital for accurate strikes and environmental mastery. Combined with night vision, this makes our snake a visual all-rounder. Part 9. Western Diamondback Rattlesnake. Now, let's unlock a real-world thermal vision superpower by splicing in traits from the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake, Crotalus atrox. Rattlesnakes and other pit vipers have specialized liral pits on either side of their heads, housing a heat-sensitive membrane that detects infrared radiation. This organ is so sensitive it can register heat sources as subtle as 0.003 DGC differences. It generates a thermal image, much like a biological infrared camera. Neuronal pathways integrate these IR signals with visual information, allowing rattlesnakes to see warm-blooded animals even in perfect darkness or camouflaged environments. These snakes can strike prey with millimeter accuracy based solely on heat profiles, making them day or night assassin. Our hybrid, equipped with these IR pits, can track anything warmer than its surroundings, detecting the faint body heat of hidden or buried prey, or identifying rival predators by their signature glow. This ability also aids in locating suitable hiding spots or basking sites for thermoregulation, giving an almost supernatural edge in both hunting and survival. Part 10. Gaboon Viper. Want to make that infrared vision even better? Incorporate genes from the Gaboon Viper, Bitis gabonica, which not only has immense fangs but also a dramatically expanded IR sensing capacity. Gaboon vipers use massive loreal pits connected to extensive neural maps, producing an integrated image in the midbrain for precise target identification. Their IR map is broader and more detailed than many pit vipers. This viper's neural architecture allows bimodal sensory neurons to receive both visual and IR signals simultaneously, yielding a strikingly robust picture of the environment. This synergy is vital for striking with perfect accuracy at prey or threats, regardless of visual conditions, camouflage, or obstacles. So, our snake isn't just seeing heat, it's integrating that information, combining thermal and visual cues for unfailing targeting and enhanced environmental awareness. In a battle with rivals, this hybrid could practically see through walls if they radiate heat, launching killing strikes from hiding without ever revealing itself. Part 11. Green Anole. Now let's step into invisible wavelengths with the green anole, Anolis carolinensis. Unlike humans, many reptiles can see ultraviolet, UV light, 300-400 nm, a part of the spectrum invisible to us but bursting with ecological information, 22. Green anoles possess 4 cone types, including one specifically tuned for UV, granting tetrachromatic vision. UV vision allows anoles, and our snake, to spot prey, conspecifics, and even environmental signals that would otherwise be missed. Many prey species reflect UV patterns invisible to normal sight, and UV sensitivity is also vital for interpreting visual signals during social or territorial displays. By endowing our hybrid with UV sensitivity, it gains the power to pick out hidden signatures in the landscape, like blood trails, urine marks, or reflective scales. This is also critical for orientation, mate selection, and even detecting threats via subtle cues imperceptible in the normal visible range. Part 12. Green Iguana. Let's double down on ultraviolet abilities with genes from the green iguana. Iguanas are sun worshippers in the wild, and their strong reliance on UVB lighting supports not only vision, but crucial aspects of their metabolism and health. Green iguanas have adaptations making their UV cones even more responsive. For instance, they rely on UVB exposure for vitamin D3 synthesis, critical for bone development and immune function. Their retinas feature significant densities of UV-sensitive cones, and they actively seek out environments that maximize UV exposure. Adding these equipment upgrades ensures our snake can maximize information from the UV spectrum for hunting, basking, and social interaction. A heightened ability to see UV cues could make this snake an even more effective ambush predator, able to pick out faint glints of scales, trails, or blood signatures others would miss. Part 13. Bearded Dragon. Take UV vision to an apex with the bearded dragon, Pagona vizeps, renowned not only for detecting UVA, but for using UV cues for foraging, mate selection, and intricate behavioral regulation. Bearded dragons employ 5 main bands of solar radiation: UVC, UVB, UVA, visible, and infrared, each with specialized roles. They're expert at regulating their UV exposure behaviorally, using visual UV cues to select optimal basking sites, avoid harm, and seek out nutrient-rich food. Their parietal eye, third eye, plays a key role in this regulatory cycle. With bearded dragon traits, the hybrid gets a 6th sense, able to calibrate its behavior according to real-time UV data, identify ripe food, assess rivals, and navigate its territory more effectively than almost any known reptile. This makes our snake close to a living multispectral scanner. Part 14. Komodo Dragon. No super predator can afford to rely only on vision, so let's harness the world-class olfactory abilities of the Komodo dragon, Varanus komodoensis. Komodo dragons locate carrion, or even blood, on the wind from up to 5 miles, 8 kilometers away, outclassing almost any land animal aside from large mammals. Their forked tongue and Jacobson's organ parse a wide array of airborne chemicals, picking up the faintest traces of prey, decay, or threat. Komodo's sense of smell enables them to track wounded animals for hours or days, following a scent trail imperceptible to others. Their acute chemosensory skills are so sharp, even slight blood traces or decaying flesh are irresistible cues. For our hybrid, this grants a killer tracking suite, the power to pursue prey or rivals across huge distances, locate food in vast, harsh terrain, and avoid traps or poison baits set by adversary. Part 15. Lace Monitor. Supercharging olfactory power requires the lace monitor, Varanus varius, another monitor lizard famed for its exceptional scent tracking abilities. Lace monitors' forked tongues and amplified Jacobson's organs work in concert to pinpoint prey or threats even under thick ground cover, analyzing chemosensory information for subtle environmental cues. Their neural wiring guarantees greater sensitivity, being able to taste chemicals in the air and ground, reading the history of an area, or even detecting reptiles in hiding. With this upgrade, our hybrid goes from simply following fresh scent to having a nearly forensic sense for the presence, direction, and age of any chemical trail it encounters. Think of it as a living smell radar, allowing our snake to choose hunting grounds wisely, avoid heavily trafficked or dangerous zones, and home in on prey with surgical precision, even at night or across water. Part 16. Tokay Gecko. Let's add another sensory superpower with the Tokay Gecko, Gecko, which boasts a sophisticated hearing apparatus capable of directional pinpointing and even basic echolocation-esque behaviors. Tokay geckos possess uniquely structured ears, where sound hits both the external and internal surface of their eardrums, generating interaural level and time differences that enable the animal to detect the direction of sounds with remarkable accuracy. Their auditory nerve fibers are highly sensitive, supporting a broad frequency range, 203 to 000 Hz, and Fisher information analysis confirms impressive spatial resolution, useful even in darkness or clutter. Their sixth sense, the saccule in the inner ear, usually associated with balance, also helps pick up low-frequency ground vibrations, expanding their environmental awareness. For our super snake, this means hearing is no longer a weak point. It can triangulate movement above or underground, detect prey by scuttling, and stay alert to approaching foes. Part 17. Crested Gecko. The crested gecko, Corelliphus ciliatus, takes the auditory system even further. While crested geckos don't have external ears, their tympanic membranes and inner ear canals are specialized for detecting high-pitched sounds and localizing sound sources in their three-dimensional environment. Crested geckos can also filter out background noise, zeroing in on relevant auditory cues and ignoring environmental clutter. This ability is vital for nocturnal hunting or communication and greatly improves the hybrid's ability to home in on precise targets, even when surrounded by distracting environmental sounds. Such enhanced hearing and vibration sensitivity gives our snake information about both airborne and substrate-based signals, boosting environmental awareness and overall combat and predatory effectiveness, especially at night. Part 18. Cuttlefish. Shifting to the arts of disguise, we need genes from the cuttlefish, Sepia bandensis, true masters of camouflage. The cuttlefish brain devotes over 70% of its neural volume to processing visual and motor signals for skin patterning, enabling these animals to change color, pattern, and skin texture in milliseconds. Cuttlefish use thousands of chromatophores, pigment ill cells, controlled by motor neurons for rapid, dynamic blending into any background. These animals also alter their skin's three-dimensional texture with papillae, simulating rocks, corals, or sand. Camouflage is visually driven, mediated by information from massive optic lobes and detailed neural maps in the chromatophore lobes. With these genes, our snake could become a living chameleon on steroids, able to instantly mimic its surroundings, break up its outline and confuse both prey and rivals. Whether in forest, marsh, or desert, vanishing in plain sight suddenly becomes not just possible, but routine. Part 19. Mimic Octopus. Boost that camouflage suite with DNA from the mimic octopus, Thaumaoctopus mimicus. Mimic octopuses are so skilled they can imitate the shape, color, pattern, and even behavior of multiple dangerous marine creatures, including venomous flatfish, sea snakes, and lionfish. What sets mimic octopus camouflage apart is not just color and pattern change, but dynamic imitation. The octopus can contort its body to mimic specifics of model species, use high-contrast disruptive coloration, and deliver this on demand as either defensive bluff or hunting decoy. Our hybrid gets polyphenism at will, the ability to not just blend, but actively dazzle, threaten, or mislead would-be threats or prey. It might flatten itself to look like a fallen log, arch up to resemble a deadly snake, or throw up warning colors as a scare tactic. Psychological warfare for both survival and domination. Part 20. Panther Chameleon. Top off this suite with the molecular wizards of the camouflage world, the panther chameleon, Furcifer pardalis. Panther chameleons use three main types of pigment cells: melanomophores, xanthophores, erythrophores, and especially iridophores, crystalline nanostructures that produce vivid structural colors through light reflection and refraction. Chameleons achieve hue shifts by altering the spacing of guanine nanocrystals, enabling instant spectral flip between greens, blues, reds, and yellows. This is driven both by environmental stimuli for camouflage and internal states for communication. Endowing our hybrid with this system means it can actively and rapidly match any conceivable background, evade predators, or communicate to rivals or mates with colors impossible in most other animals. The ability to modulate camouflage for both crypsis and social signaling becomes a key for both survival and psychological dominance. Part 21. Alligator Snapping Turtle. Ready for some raw power? Let's give our hybrid the alligator snapping turtle, Macrochelys temminckii legendary bite. These turtles boast one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom, able to exert forces upward of 1,000 pounds per square inch, enough to snap bone or even sever human digits. Their deeply hooked jaws, beak-like structure, and hypertrophied adductor muscles create not just crushing force, but also precision snipping. The mouth's architecture even allows for aggressive mimicry. Snapping turtles lure fish with a vermiform tongue appendage, then close their jaws in an instant. Imagine these jaws transposed to a monster snake. They'd enable bone-breaking, armor-shattering strikes. Prey defense mechanisms, thick skulls, armored hides, would be irrelevant. A single bite could immobilize or instantly dispatch almost any victim. Part 22. T-Rex. But why stop at a turtle when you can have the Tyrannosaurus Rex? Or T-Rex had one of the most powerful terrestrial bite forces ever measured, at up to 12,800 pounds, enough to shatter solid bone and pulverize its massive herbivorous prey. Fused skull bones, gigantic jaw musculature, and massive, deeply rooted, serrated teeth made T-Rex's bite both destructive and inescapable. This kind of force doesn't just subdue prey, it allows a predator to access nutrients unavailable to others by simply crushing and swallowing bones whole. For our hybrid snake, that means the ability to bite straight through armored plating, crush bones for marrow, or rip through any defense a rival might muster. In a face-off with another giant monster, this bite could be the deciding factor. Part 2. The Conodonts. To complement this crushing strength, add the micro-scale weaponry of conodonts. These extinct eel-like jawless vertebrates from the Paleozoic are famous for their conodont elements. Tooth-like structures made of enamel-like hydroxylapatite, arranged in ever-sharpening, multi-cusped arrays. The known teeth were razor-sharp, arranged for optimal slicing and crushing. Microstructure adaptations, such as interwoven prisms, maximized abrasion resistance and minimized the risk of brittle fracture, creating the sharpest, most durable teeth around. far exceeding most modern animals in cutting, piercing, and self-sharpening abilities. With conodont-inspired teeth, our hybrid can slice, pierce, and crush with surgical efficiency, whether it's flesh, scales, or thick bone. The bone-shattering power of the T-Rex jaw, now combined with scalpel-grade edges, makes this snake's bite truly apocalyptic. Part 24. Catfish. Finally, the cherry on top, the catfish's astonishing gustatory system. Catfish are known for their taste whiskers, or barbels, as well as taste buds embedded all over their skin, fins, and mouth, a system that can sense amino acids and other chemicals in minuscule amounts. This enables catfish to find food by taste alone in murky or pitch-black waters, sensing prey or carrion at a distance or buried under mud. Polymodal, narrowly tuned taste receptors on catfish skin and barbels can even distinguish amino acids like logonine and lalalanine, functioning as a living chemical sensor array. By giving our hybrid snake this catfish taste system, it gains information about everything it contacts: water, mud, prey, rival snakes, or even chemical traces left by adversaries. Coupled with advanced smell and sight, this makes it a true master of environmental awareness. Nothing will sneak by it. Part 25. Introduction. Scientific name: Gigas naja. Common dictionary name: the giant cobra. Male: Nehebkau. Female: Wajet. Height: 3.5 feet. Length: 30 or 35 feet. Weight: 2,200 or 2,500 pounds. The giant cobra's body is a fusion of Titanoboa girth and king cobra elegance. Its hood flares wide, patterned with shifting chromatophores from cuttlefish, mimic octopus, and panther chameleon, allowing it to vanish into any environment. Multi-spectrum eyes, courtesy of geckos, dwarf crocodiles, rattlesnakes, vipers, anoles, iguanas, and bearded dragons, give it a predator's gaze that pierces darkness, heat, and ultraviolet light. Its skull is reinforced with alligator snapping turtle and T-Rex jaw musculature, housing conodont-inspired teeth and elongated dual-channel fangs capable of delivering a devastating venom cocktail. The scales are keeled and micro-armored, deflecting claws, teeth, and even small-caliber projectiles. This is no mindless constrictor. With intelligence genes from crocodiles, alligators, and black mambas, the Titan cobra is a calculated hunter. It uses terrain to its advantage, setting ambush corridors and even manipulating objects to trap prey. It can hunt alone or coordinate with others, using body language and low-frequency vibrations to communicate. Patient and precise, it can remain motionless for hours, then strike with surgical timing. Once engaged, it adapts mid-battle. Changing tactics based on its opponent's movements. A level of combat intelligence rare in any reptile, engineered with the crushing mechanics of an alligator snapping turtle and the torque of a T-Rex, the Titan cobra's bite force is estimated at 1,500 psi. That's enough to splinter bone, crush reinforced cartilage, and shear through armor plating. Combined with its constriction power, a bite is often the beginning of the end for anything caught in its jaws. The venom is a synergistic blend of king cobra neurotoxins, inland taipan's ultra-potent taipoxin, black mamba dendrotoxins, and hemotoxic elements from rattlesnakes and gaboon vipers. The estimated LD50 is tilled 0.015 C/kg, surpassing all parent species. A single strike delivers 250 milligrams, enough to kill dozens of large mammals or incapacitate Indom2 by shutting down muscle control and disrupting nerve signals. Scaled up from king cobra brain architecture and enhanced with crocodilian and mamba neuron density, the Titan cobra's intelligence is estimated at the equivalent of an IQ of 80-90 on a human scale. It can solve multi-step problems, remember battle layouts for years, and predict enemy behavior, making it as much a tactician as a predator. With night vision from geckos, color vision from dwarf crocodiles, infrared from rattlesnakes and vipers, and ultraviolet from anoles, iguanas, and bearded dragons, the Titan cobra sees the world in layers. It can detect detect heat signatures through foliage, spot UV reflective markings invisible to most eyes, and track prey in total darkness. No camouflage fools it, not even Indominus. Komodo dragon and lace monitor olfactory genes give the Titan cobra a scent range of several kilometers. It can detect chemical trails days old, distinguish individual prey by scent alone, and even taste the air with its tongue to map the battlefield in 3 dimensions. Tokay and crested gecko adaptations grant ultrasonic hearing and primitive echolocation. The Titan cobra can detect the faintest rustle of leaves or the subsonic vibrations of a large creature moving underground. In dense jungle or pitch-black caves, it builds a mental sonar map of its surroundings. Catfish taste receptors embedded along the jawline and tongue allow the Titan cobra to detect chemical changes in water and air. It can taste adrenaline, pheromones, and blood in the environment, knowing not just where its prey is, but what state it's in.